Look, reasonable Americans of both parties understand that our men and women in law enforcement work hard to try to mete out justice equally. Yes, they make mistakes. And yes, the FBI has been and should be criticized for mistakes, as they have been by both the FBI Inspector General, who investigated, for example, the Russia investigation, even the FBI bipartisan Senate Intel Committee. But neither of those investigations found evidence that politics motivated the errors of the judgment calls. John Durham's investigation was supposed to blow open the politicized corruption in our intel agencies and FBI. It didn't do that. But as Jim Jordan points out, the House still does have the power of the purse. So even if Americans as a whole don't want it, those in power may. So what exactly would that mean for law enforcement? Let's ask Joshua Skule, former executive assistant director for intelligence of the FBI. He was part of the senior executive team that executed and formulated the budget for the FBI, so he's got real insight into how this all works. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. So let's assume that they're talking about significant cuts to the FBI budget. What kind of impact could that have?
Well, Dan, I think first you have to step back and take a look at the breadth of the mission of the FBI. It's not just on the national security side, terrorism, counterintelligence, and combating cyber, but it's also significant public corruption, white-collar crime, civil rights, violent crime. Just in 22 alone, the FBI, along with its other partners, state, local, and federal law enforcement agencies, arrested 20,000 violent offenders, on the average 55 a day. So when you look at what the impact and the rising violence inside the United States, what that would mean, it would mean a less safe America.
Well, can you be specific, though? I mean, if they really do start getting in there, right, and say, all right, we're going to cut the FBI budget now by 25%. I'm just making that number up. But let's say that 25%, some significant percentage. What might the FBI not be able to do anymore?
Well, there's a host of things the FBI would not be able to do. That's a substantial cut. Now, I know we're talking about an arbitrary number, but again, trying to keep America safe, when you look at all the threats that our society is facing, we as citizens want to remain safe. When we call 911, we want to remain safe. The FBI does gun checks. Those are critically important to make sure that people don't get their hands on guns that shouldn't have them. They are part of task forces that combat gang crime, narcotics trafficking, human trafficking, prevention of terrorism. We're seeing a domestic terroristic threat rise in our nation.
Yep.
They are the lead law enforcement agency for that.
You think the cooler heads are going to prevail here?
Dan, I sure hope so. But what I know and what I'm concerned about is I want a safe society, not just for me, I'm an American citizen, but for my children.
Yep.
And defunding the FBI would really limit that ability. So it's concerning.
Yeah, and when you're doing the budgets, right, I mean, is there any insight you can give us into sort of how you went about allocating? I mean, I would assume that from the FBI's perspective, they need more money, not less.
Sure, and I don't know when it became vogue to call out men and women in law enforcement, and when it became vogue to defund law enforcement.
Yep.
I would think we would want better training. And when you pick up the phone and call 911, you want the best and the brightest in the cavalry coming. That's what you want. You don't want, and you want them to answer.
Yep.
So when you get into the budgeting process at the FBI, it's really those priorities that look to keep our nation safe. That's why terrorism is at the top. But we also work closely with law enforcement
around
across the United States.
Right. That's the other thing people forget, is that the FBI assists local law enforcement around the country. So the people who say, oh, you know, well, I support local law enforcement, but I don't like the FBI. Well, you know what? Ask all the local law enforcement around the country how helpful the FBI have been on a lot of big investigations with the labs and the testing and the multi-state issues, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I could go on. I think I'm preaching to the choir with Joshua Skule here, though. Josh, thanks a lot for coming on the program. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.